What up, everybody? Welcome back to Live Good, Feel Better, the podcast where we talk about health in a way that's practical, honest, and actually doable. My name is Joshua Gibson, a believer, husband, father, rapper, business owner, health enthusiast, and now, in season 2, officially a podcast host. Look around here, y'all. We focus on simple habits and real conversations that help us grow physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially. But I want y'all to keep in mind, this is not about perfection, but it is about progress, taking steps forward to improve every single day. Our scripture for season 2 is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, which is trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean into your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path. That's the energy that we are carrying into this season, trusting God, staying consistent, and figuring it out one step at a time. Now, with that being said, let's get into the guest for this week. Today's guest is somebody whose content doesn't just challenge people, but it motivates them. If you've spent any time on social media in the self-improvement, faith, or mindset space, there's a good chance you came across his videos. And what stands out immediately is the conviction behind how he speaks. The messages are direct, intentional, and clearly coming from a real place. He has built a growing platform around discipline, purpose, confidence, faith, and becoming the best version of yourself. But beyond the motivational content, what interests me the most was the man behind the camera, because anybody can post quotes online, anybody can say stay motivated, but living with purpose consistently is a completely different conversation. So today, we're talking about pressure, growth, discipline, masculinity, faith, social media, and what it really looks like to keep showing up when life is not easy behind the scenes. So y'all help me welcome Chris Ruffin Jr. How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. That was a hell of a that was quite an intro.
Man, thank you, man. I do my research, and like we talked about behind the scenes, that was my 5th time doing it, man. My mic wasn't on the first time, but we rolled.
That was great, bro. I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. And taking the time out to just go through my page and any information that you can get, that's good stuff.
So I always want to start, man, like outside of like who you are on social media, who are you at the core outside of the emotional videos and all that?
I would say first and foremost, a child of God, really. After that, I'm a husband, I'm a son, I'm a brother. I say all that, and then I go to what I do for my day side. My day work is I'm a executive producer at a TV station. So
Okay.
outside of that, that's pretty much who I am. That's what I pretty much stand for. I say the new stuff last because I'm one of those people who I don't like for what you do for your occupation to define you. So I literally give you everything else besides that's going to be the last thing, so when people meet me, that's one of the last things I tell them, like, oh yeah, I work in news.
Absolutely, because hey, you can lose your job,
for sure.
Not putting that on you, but anybody can get fired or whatever, and you're always stripped down to who you are without the job, and a lot of people do leave with that, including me sometimes, like, oh, I'm a this, but like, it's really who you are as a person. That's why I have my intro the way I have it. So talk about, and I got my questions here, but as you're talking, I'm gonna just kind of freestyle. Kind of talk about how you got into like producing and things like that on the news.
So this was back in when I graduated getting ready to graduate high school. I had my principal. I played basketball my entire life up until high school. Well, up until college. My principal told me this was like a couple days before school was getting ready to let out, and he said, "Hey, like I need you to like not be just lazy this summer." He didn't say lazy, but that's how I took it. Lazy this summer, hang with the wrong crowd. Like, I'm sending you to a journalism camp at this university that's in Birmingham, which is where I'm from. And so pretty much this was like they were barely accepting people because it was the last day of submitting your stuff. So I had to basically write a paragraph, get like a recommendation, which he served as my recommendation. And pretty much it was like a 3-day journalism camp. I got accepted into it, and like told you, I'm a basketball player. I'm pretty smart, but at the end of the day, basketball is like we talked about, letting stuff define you. At that time,
Yep.
I was letting basketball define me. Wasn't really that good, but I still like to think like, like yo, like this is who I am. This is what I'm gonna do.
That's all of
Yeah,
us.
exactly. Even if I don't go to the NBA, I'm gonna be doing something basketball related because I come from a family that's big in sports. So,
Yep.
he ended up sending me to that camp. My mom asked no questions. My parents asked no questions about it. They thought it would be good for me too, and I ended up going to the camp. I was I would say the only person that wasn't like involved in like a yearbook, some type of literature club or something like that, and I feel like my entire existence since I've probably been as long as I can remember, if I put my mind to something, I feel like I can pretty much do it. Like whatever it
Yeah.
is. Like if you say, "Hey, I need you to go paint," paint something. Like give me like an hour to like research it, then I can do it. So, long story short, ended up winning the competition to the college, ended up getting a scholarship there. So that
Mm.
was the spark for me that made me go into journalism. And so pretty much from there, I met someone who was a news reporter, and I met an anchor, which was in Birmingham, and he served as my mentor. And pretty much I wanted to be on camera at first, but then after Trayvon Martin, got killed, I switched it and said, hey, I want to be a producer so that I can be the person who says like, we shouldn't put this on TV or we shouldn't, play this video. So, which is kind of what I do today. Like we have control over what goes on air and what doesn't. So, that's pretty much the spark for me and how I got
Nice.
into it. And then right now, executive producer, you're basically leaning on your leadership skills to guide others, and to make sure that everything is good when it comes to what you see on TV.
Is that in my
Hmm.
research? Obviously, you see you're married. Your wife is
Yeah.
also
So
in the new. Is that where you met her?
no, so
Or
oddly enough, my wife we were in the Carolinas. I was in Charlotte and she was in Columbia, South Carolina. I pretty
okay,
much we knew some of the same people. And when I found out that she was in South Carolina, which it was like an hour and a half away from me, hour and 19 minutes to be exact, from where I was in Charlotte.
down to the minute.
Yeah. So I saw she was there, asked her if she wanted to do lunch sometime. Um, of course she didn't bite the first couple times, and then eventually she did. But yeah, it's crazy how it happens for her to be in news and for me to be in news as well. It's just like one of those things where she understands where I'm coming from, with my frustrations,
Yeah.
and I understand where she's coming from as well. And we're on two completely sides of the spectrum. She's, in front of the camera, I'm behind the camera, but it works.
And real
Hmm.
quick, I gotta
Yeah.
ask this: do y'all work in the same
No, different
like
stations.
place?
Yeah,
Okay,
different stations.
different stations. Nice. So I know, like, just looking through your feed and
Hmm.
everything, your content speaks a lot about like
Hmm.
discipline and growth and purpose. Where did that mindset come from? Like, was there a specific season of your life that shaped that mindset that you have?
Nah, I think it's really, man, just I feel like I've been a leader my entire life. And I feel like if you talk to any of my friends, they'll say, "Oh, like he's been this way since he probably was like 15." Like I always been a person like I told you, if I put my mind to something, I'll do it. And I think that just comes from um really my parents, really. I think my dad is very disciplined. My mom disciplined as well, but I would say I definitely learned it from my dad. He would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go to the gym,
Mm,
you know, to work out, come home, make sure we were good, and then kind of just go from there. My mom at times would work 2 jobs to make sure we were good, you know. So it's seeing those type of situations when I was younger, and you know, being privy to I like to say like information, like having information
yeah,
and being able to like read books. Um, I was just telling my wife this the other day, like we're like the last generation that knows the world before social media, you know?
bro.
So
Blessed to be that
yeah,
too,
like so I just feel like I was who I am before social media came and before like I was of course like I still remember like being on Disney.com and my mom being on the phone, you know, so I can look at
yep,
stuff on Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Like, you know, like so
yep.
I feel like I was who I am before all of this came. So I was disciplined, I was, you know, inquisitive. Back then I think it just kinda I stayed the same, you know, as I got older.
You know, with being
Mhm.
online, a lot of people talk about like leveling up, but behind closed doors, they're struggling
Yeah.
mentally. Have you ever had like a season where your content looked stronger than you actually felt internally?
Yeah, man. I feel like it's funny how that works. Like this was probably like around COVID. My wife and I both caught COVID, and with me having
Mm,
sickle cell, it really like took me for a loop. Like I was in the ICU for like 9 days. I was in the hospital for like it felt like at least 3 weeks. But yeah, like they just didn't know what was going on because I have sickle cell, but my entire adulthood from like up until I was what 28 when that happened, 27 when that happened when we caught COVID. I hadn't been
mhm.
to the hospital like probably in 20 years. So from age
Oh,
6
wow.
until age 27, I had never been to like the ER or let me not say been to the ER. I had never been hospitalized as far as for sickle cell crisis. It presented a opportunity for me to I was at home, I couldn't go to work, so I was recording content like every day. Like it's something that
Yeah.
I can put out here, and this was around the time that I dropped my first book, Succeeding with Sickle Cell, and it was like, oh, like he has his book, he has his content, but on the inside, I'm like literally struggling mentally. Like my confidence
Yeah.
is shot, and pretty much just I'm just doing this to help out other people, you know, to so that people can see my message and that I'm hoping that it helps somebody out and that they can learn from not even from what I've done, but from just who I am as a person. Like, you know, just because something is going on or you have an illness or any type of disease or anything, you can still just be the person who you call to be and just live your life like you said with purpose and continue to just hit each day one at a time.
Like, I feel like a lot of content creators go through the same thing. Like,
Mhm.
you're putting out this content to where, like you said, like you know what you're going through internally. And because you know what you're going through, you're like, okay, if I'm going through it and I can still push
Yeah.
through, maybe somebody else can be encouraged by that.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like I do the same thing. Like, I know my struggles and my
Mhm.
faults. If I can still do it, hopefully I'm encouraging
To
somebody else.
do it,
But
yeah.
at the same time, it also encourages me as I'm
Right.
doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
I do want to touch on this. Talk about what sickle cell
Mhm.
is.
So sickle cell pretty much is it impacts your red blood cells. So the normal person, their red blood cell is like a circle shape, but with mine, my red blood cells are crescent or in the shape of a banana, and so it makes it harder for oxygen for you to receive oxygen, and if you have a sickle cell crisis, pain is like excruciating. So um, I can only compare it for the average person if you ever had like a Charlie horse And just imagine that being 10 times worse or even 100 times worse. So, like, mine pretty much when I was having my crisis, they would impact my arms, it would impact my legs, your back, your lower back could start hurting at any point in time. So that's pretty much what the disease does. You bring on those type of impacts by being like dehydrated, not eating the right things, having stress in your life. And so those are pretty much the three main components that I feel like have impacted me when I've had sickle cell crisis. Like even when I was eating meat, because now I'm pescatarian, but even before that, I wasn't like just going in, So like I still wasn't eating like pork. I would only eat like chicken and turkey.
Is that something that you overcame, like, with being a pescatarian, or do you still deal with some of the symptoms, or how does
So
that work?
yeah, so since that time, so like I stayed in Memphis as well, Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm in Jacksonville now. But the weather impacts your body as well. So
Mm.
if it's super cold outside or if it's super hot outside, you could get dehydrated. If it's super cold, the cold impacts your bones. So maybe since 2024, like 2024, yeah, maybe 2024. Because all of last year when we were in Jacksonville, we moved to Jacksonville and the weather here is great. So haven't had any crisis. I would really have crisis in Memphis when it would be cold outside. So they have like situations where you can kind of get rid of the disease, but I don't think they've gotten it to the point where it's like no type of impact on your body, you know?
Now, does your wife,
Mhm.
like, how do you feel that she supports you, like, with having sickle
Mhm.
cell, or just with your juicing in
Yeah.
general? Like, how do you feel like she impacts
Nah,
that?
that's the number one supporter. She was pescatarian before I became pescatarian. So she was already on
Okay,
it.
and explain what pescatarian is for people who might
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
know.
So pescatarian
Yeah.
is only eating seafood. So you got your shrimp, you got your salmon, you got any type of fish that you can find. And eating that is pescatarian. So it's really cutting out chicken, beef, pork, turkey. And so I found that with doing that, it's a better diet for me. Like I said, she was doing it before, like when we first started dating, back in 2019, she was already pescatarian. I would kind of be the person like, oh, like you should try the chicken. We going back to Birmingham. Let me show you my favorite wing spot. And she would try it, but at the end of the day, she was more so pescatarian than that. But she's the person that told me or encouraged me to be pescatarian. And then also this was when I first started learning about juicing, she was just kind of like, yeah, let's do it, like no questions asked type of deal. So it was always
Yeah.
just support from there. And then like I'll tell you, I'm the person with the ideas and like, hey, we need to do this, we need to do that. And she's just like, all right, bet, I trust in you that we're gonna be good.
Mm.
And that's the type of support that she's given, the last 6 years that we've been together. So I'm very appreciative of who she is and what she, brings to the table.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I don't like I said, I have the ideas. She's more the person like, all right, let's put a timeline on this, or let's map this out to where it can run correctly, or let's do it a different way. Because I'm just like a mad scientist, trying stuff out.
Yep. I get it. That's me.
Yeah, so you
And
understand that
that's
too. Yeah.
absolutely. And that's good that you have that she trusts you. So you're free to give those
Yeah, for
ideas,
sure.
and y'all work as a
Yeah.
team. With the juicing, like, what kinda got you into juicing?
Man, honestly, it was just like around that time when I caught COVID. It was just trying another avenue to feel good. So did my research and I'm like, yo, we're not seeing any type of like change with my body. I'm still having sickle cell crisis like almost every week at this point. Like at one point in
Wow.
2024, I promise you, I probably went to the hospital at least once a month just
Mm.
because I didn't know what was happening. Like my body was out of whack. And I think it was more so because of us catching COVID. My body was just like, what's going on? But I did my research on juicing, and my fraternity brother, he and my best friend, he was like, "Yo," I was telling him like I wanted a juicer, and because I was about to start juicing, and he literally bought me a juicer. So I always say
Mm.
like he's the person that like really started a lot of it. When I got the partnership with Nama, I called him and I'm like, "Yo, bro, like I appreciate you because I was literally I don't know. I probably would have been I bought the juicer, but he just like spearheaded it and, supercharged me getting it.
Wait, I gotta
Mhm.
clarify. Did he buy you a juicer, or did he buy you the
No.
Nama?
He bought me a juicer. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
was about
yeah.
to say, man, that's
Nah,
a good friend
nah,
if if he bought you
nah, nah,
the
nah.
Nama, because that's
Nah,
expensive.
he bought me a juicer. It was like a juicer. It was like
Okay,
it was a Hamilton Beach juicer. Yeah,
okay,
which they're expensive, but they're not. It's not a normal juicer. So yeah,
right, yeah. Nama juicer is an
yeah,
investment
it's an
for
investment.
sure.
Yeah, so and I'll tell you how we got into that later down the line.
Yeah.
But yeah, he bought it and we started juicing and literally, bro, like I said, I went to the hospital probably at least once a month 1 year. When we started juicing, like all that on top of me being pescatarian, I wasn't having no crisis. Like I was juicing every Sunday, drinking the juice, and everything just started happening. Like it started getting better. So that's pretty much how we got into the juicing, and what it's done for my body.
So you went from going to the hospital every month to when you started
Hmm.
juicing, it completely stopped.
Yeah, it stopped. But when I started juicing, it like helped my body out tremendously.
So I want to switch gears and get into your
Hmm.
ebook, The Healthy
Yeah,
Friend.
yeah. I go back to my wife, like, and you can see I got it behind us.
Yeah.
So, and we're both the author of it, but that's really like on her because people were hitting me up like two people, for instance, like that I have put on a juicing and they love it. Like anytime I'm around them, they talking about juicing. Her dad, we put her dad on to juicing. He bought a Nama before we bought one. Yeah,
Hey.
so like he had a Nama like at least 5 or 4 months before we actually got our first one. And so like he took it a step further and started going to like like those health stores that have like the sea moss and the seaweed and all that type of
Yeah.
stuff. Like he started going there, getting his fruits and vegetables. And then the other person was my mom. She is one recipe that I have, and every time we go to Birmingham, she's like asking us to make it. But I think when it comes to just people in general, that's the main goal is just trying to help everybody be a little bit more healthier than what they are.
So how did you feel with your wife's dad getting the
Hmm.
Nama to fast forward to you getting the Nama and then you having a partnership with the Nama? So kind of like take us through that
Yeah,
timeline and talk about how everything connects.
man, it's just crazy, bro. Like we said, he bought the nominee. He literally he just went off of our word, and we were like, "Yo, this is the juicer that we're thinking about getting, so you should get it." And like we
Yeah.
said, like Nama, it could cost you like 5 to 7. He ended up getting it, and he was like, "Yo, like I love this thing," and I think it was specifically how we ended up getting ours. It had to be like Black Friday or something like that. And I think Juice with Kia was I was seeing her page and I was also seeing I forgot the other person name. But basically I used her discount code to get
Yeah.
it and yeah, like that was we got it and it was just like, all right, bet we good now. Bro, we literally saved so much time with this Nama. It's crazy. So
Yeah.
then the how we got into the partnership, I had asked, I think it's Kiana Simone. She's a Nama partner as well. I was like, "Yo, how
Yep.
do you get the partnership with them? Like, I'm interested in doing it as well." And she was like, "Yo, just be consistent with your posting."
You slid in the
Yeah, I slid
DM?
in DM. So
That's what I did
yeah,
too.
I'm like, "Yo, let me just slide. Let me just slide on them." So
Yep.
slid in DMs. I'm like, "Yo, I've been juicing. Here's my story. Like, what's up?" And so they was like, we'll right now we're not. I think they said something like we're not doing partnerships or something right now because it was like around Christmas time. They were like, we'll circle back. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like at least they wrote back. I got something, I
Right.
got something, so I know what to do. So I'm like, I'm gonna just keep posting. I'm gonna keep tagging them, bugging
Yep.
them, whatever I can do to get that partnership. So eventually they circle back around. I think it was like around March. And it's just so crazy, man. Like I'm one of those people like you say, if you what you see on the internet, I'm literally like I'm probably a little bit worse on in real life because I wrote it down for the year and it's just wow. Like I was like, yo, my first quarter goal is gonna be get a partnership with I think I put Nama on there. I don't know if I put just a
Yeah.
juicy company or if I put Nama on there specifically, but I didn't I knew it would happen, but I didn't think it would happen that quick. And so like, yeah, when they start writing
Yep.
back saying, yo, let's do an interview, let's see what we can do. It just was like so crazy for it to happen. So end up doing an interview with Bridget at Nama. And
Yep. Yep.
yeah, shout out to Bridget, man. And we did it. They came back and said, "Yeah, this is what we can do," and it was pretty much that's what we've been doing since then. So, still
Nice.
haven't. I'm still working on getting some sales with them, but I think it's just it's there. You know what I'm saying? So we good.
It's in your back
Yeah,
pocket, man. Like
yeah.
same thing with me, man. I felt for me, this is my first brand
Mhm.
partnership with them. So I'm like, the fact that you go from finding out about the juicer from whatever YouTuber or social media person
Right.
to buying it to now being
Partner with
partnered
them.
with them and being in the Zoom meetings, I'm
Full
like,
circle, bro.
I'll be in the Zoom meetings. I can't even believe
Yeah.
I'm in here.
How does it yeah, because 'cause I'm interested. How does it feel for you, like, I guess for your audience to know that you're a partner? What does that look like for you?
I'll be honest, I haven't promoted too
Mhm,
much that I'm a partner
mhm.
yet. Maybe a part of it is because I feel like I need a little more followers. But as far as me personally,
Yeah,
like it feels
yeah.
wonderful. Like for them to see my page, respect my content
Mhm.
enough to be like you're worth something to partner with
Yeah,
us. It feels amazing, and nothing I say about the juicer is fake. So
yeah.
like like just like you, I slid in their DM, was
Mhm.
like, "Hey, I'm trying to be a partner," and she looked at my content. She, "Yeah, you're already doing
Doing it,
pretty
yeah.
much."
Yeah, you're doing it,
I
yeah.
was pretty much already promoting
Yeah,
them, so it was like a no brainer. And for them to just see the value in me just felt
yeah.
wonderful, to be
Nah, for
honest.
sure. And it's good people over there, so I think that's the biggest thing about it too.
Man,
Like, they when I and I think it's just one of those things where you don't know what you're getting yourself into. Like, I'm like,
yep,
"Yo, like, we getting, like, collaborations with people who, like, got, like, millions of followers and, like,
yep.
is to me, it's just surreal. Like you said, to be able to say, like, "Oh, like, I literally went from seeing somebody had a juicer to buying a juicer, and now I partner with them." It's just pretty wild.
I fear sometimes, bro, like, cause like I said, this is my first one.
Mhm.
I'm like, I think I'm being spoiled.
Mm.
Cause the way they communicate
Yeah.
with us, the way I feel like they're treating us good. I'm
Yeah.
like, I wonder when I get my other brand
Yeah.
deals, is it gonna be like
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
Like, where
for
they're
sure.
so involved in
Yeah.
everything.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah. So for you, man, like with all the difficulties
Mhm,
and obstacles that you've gone through, like with sickle cell or even COVID
mhm.
or anything, what role has faith played in your journey, like during the difficult seasons?
Man, it's everything. Like, it's literally everything, bro. Like, I feel like I've always been of course, like, I grew up, my parents, would make me go to church, like, but I
Yep.
think it's one of those things. Me and one of my best friends, we talk about it a lot. Well, we talked about it a while back. Like, you have to build your own faith, no matter what you believe in, if it's God, if it's whatever. Like, you gotta build your own relationship with that being. Like, my faith is literally everything to me. Like, and it's one of those things where I have receipts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have the
Yep.
receipts of when I didn't think it would work out. It worked out, and I was fine, you know. But I feel like over time, though, we're talking about being spoiled.
Yeah.
Over time, when you see so many things work out, you start thinking like, "Oh, like, is this how everything is gonna go?" You know what I'm saying? And when it doesn't, you
Yeah.
have to kinda, like, take a step back and realize, like, "Alright, some things, it will work out perfectly fine, but some things, I gotta learn a lesson to apply to something else." I feel like your faith is really like a sacred thing, so I try not to push it on too many people, or anybody for that matter, because I just think that it's my faith and your faith may look different just based on our circumstances.
Second Timothy
Yeah.
2:15, where it says, "Study to show thyself
Mhm.
approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." Like, you can have your, like you said, my parents made me go to
Yeah.
church too. I didn't like it when I was a
Yeah, for
kid,
sure.
but now that I'm grown, I now take my family to
Mhm.
church. And even just going to church isn't everything. Like, you do have to study for yourself,
Mhm.
build your own faith and your own relationship with God, because that's when it counts. Like, you
Yeah.
can't just be like, "Oh, my grandma
Yeah. Yeah.
was
Yep.
saved." So you know what I mean? So, and as far as the mindset thing, like, bro, it could be like 5, 10 terrible things in a row that happen. You have to know that that's not the end of your
At the
story.
end, that's a fact.
Like, even if 5 or 10 great, fantastic things
Mhm.
happen, you also have to know that's not the end of your
Right.
story. So never get too discouraged
Mhm.
on where you're at. Never get too cocky or big headed from where
Mhm.
you're
That's
at.
a
Just
fact.
always keep your eye on God. Like, that's what I try to
Yeah.
do. Sometimes I do be getting discouraged
Yeah.
if I'm down, or sometimes I do might get a little big headed if I'm up, but you got to keep that balance
Yeah.
by looking at God.
Even kill. I think that's the biggest thing
Yeah.
is just like not too low, not too high, you know. When
Yep.
you look at it from that standpoint of like there are gonna be things that I'm gonna just like I said, it's certain things are inevitable. Like you're gonna have to go through it. And I think that's going back to 2023. I feel like that's the year. But going back to 2023,
Yeah.
when I was having all of those sickle cell crises, like I had to go through that, you know, in order to show other people like, hey, this is something you can go through, and this is something that you can thrive after you've gone through it, you know, to be on the other side of it.
So I want you to be honest, man. Do you feel, and I'm not saying that's what we are, but I feel like there's an aspect of motivation, right? Do you feel like motivational creators feel the pressure to always appear strong online and offline because of what you post?
I don't think so. Uh I think that's part of people understanding who you are and buying into your story. You know, if you gonna be the person that's, you know, every single day it's a good day, you know what I'm saying? Or every single day is the sun is shining on me. I
Yep.
feel like that's cool, but it's not authentic. I feel like authentic is, yeah, like, hey, I just spent the last couple months trying to figure this out. Like, and I finally figured it out. Like, you know, or hey, I've been in the hospital, you know, for X amount of days. Like, this is what I'm going through. I feel like for me, and I try not to be I always try not to take myself too serious. So I recently had a procedure done, probably like a month ago at this point. I think today is, yeah, it was the 24th of last month. But I didn't want to just
Mm.
put on social media like, oh, I had this procedure done, like, you know,
Right.
I they had me under anesthesia, so I just look at it as a fun way to say, you know, like, oh, I had this done. But in that is kind of combining the two. I was
Yeah.
talking about juicing while I was while I had anesthesia in me.
I saw that
Yeah, so
post.
like it's
Yep.
I feel like whenever it presents a time where you can combine whatever your niche is, then go for it. But do you have to appear like you're strong every single day? No, because there are thousands of people who, are or millions of people who are looking at you and depending on you to show up as your authentic self.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what this podcast is all
Yeah.
about, man. Like everybody I've had on this podcast, including me, and hopefully the people that
Mhm.
watch, we're all striving for something
Exactly.
better. We're all like me. I'm trying to eat healthy.
Yeah.
There's people who are trying to have better marriages,
Yeah.
better relationship with God, exercise more. But outside of that, like with you juicing or with you kind of succeeding with your pescatarian diet
Mhm.
and kind of like not dealing with sickle cell in the way that you did, what are you still struggling with
Mm.
behind the scenes at right now to kind of bring that relatable piece to you?
Um, the thing that I'm struggling with right now, bro, is probably doom scrolling.
Mm,
And
yeah,
and I feel like that's one thing that I'm struggling with, that I'm trying to overcome. And it comes and it goes. Cause I can have a day like today where me and my wife wake up, we go on a walk, no phones, no nothing. We just vibing. We just, enjoying each other. It could be other days
uh-huh,
where like where I have a doctor appointment and I don't have anything else to do. So I'm just on the phone, just scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. But it is some days where I feel like it is healthy for me to be doing scrolling because I like last night, it's probably like 10 o'clock at night. I watching the game and I find some inspiration from this person who does marketing and I'm like, oh, maybe I can use this for the healthy friend. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it
yeah,
works, sometimes it doesn't. I think it's just on you to realize, like, all right, what's that line that I can't cross? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm one of
yeah,
those people. Like I said, I'm probably worse than I appear on than on social media. In real life, I track, you know, how long I be on my phone. Like every Sunday is like a competition between me and my wife, like, who has been on their phone the longest, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
I kinda look at that like, yo, like, I can't be doom scrolling because when Sunday come up and they say I've been on my phone 8 hours and 57 minutes, you know what I'm saying, or 10 hours, and
yeah.
she's, like, at 5 hours and 4 minutes, it's like, yo, like, I lost the competition, so, th
Bro, that's
yeah,
dope.
that's
That's a dope competition to
and
have.
I say it's a competition, it's really not, but we too com
But no, I
we
get
get we
it.
two competitive people, so, like, the bragging rights, like, are there,
Yeah,
so yeah, I would say that's one of the things I'm struggling with. Another thing that I'm struggling with that I gotta get a hold of is when I go back home to Birmingham is kind of like I'm still eating pescatarian, but I want to eat at all the good places that I grew up eating at. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And with that, that includes my mom cooking us breakfast and like you getting good food. I feel like that's another thing I'm struggling with that I got to get a hold of. But it's not one of those things that's like, oh, like this is super bad because I only go home probably like 3 times out of the year, so
right.
yeah, but those are my 2 struggles right now that I can think of. What about you? What's your
Nice.
struggle?
Oh, bro, I mean, you said doom scrolling.
Yeah.
I think that is a struggle of mine. Like again, there's days where I'm good. Like I've noticed if I start off the
Mhm.
day like reading a book
Yeah.
or just waking up and just being in my own thoughts,
Yeah.
man, and not letting the podcast
Mhm.
take over my mind or whatever, then I'll have a better day. On the food tip, without even thinking about it, it's sugar. Like,
Mm.
no question,
Yeah.
man. Like I can feel it in my body.
Yeah.
So I hate when I'm like, man, I didn't even have to eat that, but that's for sure a
A
struggle of
struggle, yeah.
mine, like without a
Yeah,
question.
we just did a 40-day no sugar fast.
Mm,
So but
God bless you.
yeah, it's tough, right? So but I think at the end of it you kind of just think about how you gonna feel,
Yeah,
towards the end of this or when it's over. But it's definitely something. Sugar is definitely one of those things to struggle with, especially me, man. I got a sweet tooth. But
yeah.
yeah, trying to figure out. I'm about to speaking of normal, I got this sorbet attachment. About to go make some sorbet later from just straight fruit. So if I
Nice.
need if I need something sweet, we can always pop that up,
So this is super random,
Yeah.
man, and I have a couple more
Yeah, yeah.
questions after
Mhm.
this. In my research, I was all on your
Yeah, yeah.
page and your wife's page. Bro, I saw she met Oprah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
"No, is this AI?" And I was like, "No, like
Nah,
this."
she
So,
got the Oprah touch. So, yeah.
yeah. So how did that has nothing to do with
Yeah,
nothing, but
nah.
like, how did that happen? Like, how did you feel? How
So
did she
this
feel?
happened before we met each other. But I
Okay.
always love when she tells the story though. She interned at CBS in
Mm,
college. So she went to FAMU and which is Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. Hope I didn't mess that up for them. But she went to FAMU and the president of at the time at CBS was a FAMU graduate, Kim Godwin.
okay.
And so she got the internship or whatever to do it. And this was the very first day that the internship started. The very first day.
Wow.
Um Gail was there. Gail, I forgot Gail last name, but Gail was there.
King.
Yeah, she was there, and Oprah was there. For some reason, I forgot why she was there. But yeah, she met Oprah and got the Oprah touch. So just based off
Nice.
of our faith in God and also her getting the Oprah touch, I think we good. So yeah.
Absolutely. So there's no good segue for that
Nah,
question,
nah,
but I
nah.
just had to throw that in there. So we're
You
just gonna go on to the
can
next question.
Nah, she'll enjoy that.
Yeah. So if somebody is watching this
Mhm,
episode, they feel mentally stuck,
mhm,
or maybe they have sickle
mhm.
cell, or they feel like emotionally drained. Like, what's the first thing you think they need to start doing to change their life?
Seasons come and go. Like, yeah, this is just a season. It won't be and you talked about this earlier. That's not your end, That's not the end of what you're going through. So
Yep.
I would say that's the biggest thing. Now, if you wanna go a little deeper, I would say, yeah, start going to the gym, start eating right, start thinking like the person that you want to become at the end of the day. And I feel like that's pretty much how I've been. One of my mentors used to always tell me like, dress for the job that you want, not the job that you have. So,
Mm.
that's where I pretty much take my motivation from is just being that person, acting as if you already are, or just being as you already are, the person that you feel like you want to be.
What does live good, feel better mean to you?
Live good means doing the things that you want to do each and every day. So if living good for me is I can get up, like I said, go for a walk with my wife. I can go to the movies, go play golf, go to the gym, work out, have a go to the my favorite restaurant and um, get my favorite dish, and that's kind of go from there. And feel better, live good, feel better, right?
Yep.
Feel
Yep.
better is just I'm feeling like my the person that I'm called to be. I'm not waking up with no type of ailments, no headaches, no anything. Like I feel good. I got my energy up because I've been drinking my smoothies. You know what I'm saying? I've been drinking my juice throughout the day. So I feel better than what I felt yesterday. So I would say that's what live good, feel better for me. It means.
Last but not least, this is your moment. I want you to brag on yourself, talk about where people can find you or follow you on social media, what you have coming up,
Yeah.
how they can find your ebook, to buy it,
Yeah,
anything.
so social media, we operate off of the Healthy Friend page. That's you can see HealthyFriend. And then also I tell you, my wife came up with the name The Healthy Friend. So that's we literally she's just super dope with that type of stuff. So you can find the Healthy Friend book either on either one of those pages, or you can go to thehealthyfriend.com to purchase the book as well. And then I think as far as right now, in Jacksonville coming up next month, we're doing our first pop-up juice pop-up. So we're going
Nice.
to a market here and if anybody's in the Jacksonville area, the Mayport area. And then I'm thinking about putting out another ebook next year on juice recipes, because this one was kind of just like the stuff that the beginner, if you will, recipes, but I done kind of got really, I don't really know how you can get really good with juice recipes, but
You
yeah,
can.
I've been coming up with some stuff. So I think it's this one that I put out probably either the end of this year or next year will have certain things in there like mocktails and smoothies, and so we'll at some point start compiling all the ingredients that we have and put that into a book to send out to people as well. So
Perfect, man. Well, thank y'all for listening to this episode. Chris, thank you
yes,
for
sir.
being on this episode. You're welcome back
Yes, sir. Let's
anytime.
make it
This
happen.
podcast don't blow up, man.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah,
Let's make it
when it
happen.
gets to 1 million, come
Yes,
back.
sir. I got you. I appreciate you. I appreciate the opportunity. This was a good, real good, Josh. And I think what you're doing,
Thank you.
bruh, as far as reaching people who are in the health, we're all content creators, but specifically health is gonna go a long way, because that's one thing that people are always gonna, want to get better at. No matter how it may look now, no matter how it may look 10 years from now, like people always want to be healthy, because we all want to be here for a long time. So
Absolutely,
this is a great podcast, bro. I'm pretty sure
man.
this is gonna be big, like soon,
Thank you,
like
bro.
very soon.
Thank you, man. Well, make sure y'all follow Chris. Make sure y'all check out his ebook, and we will see y'all next Tuesday.
That.
I really hope y'all enjoyed that episode, and show some love to our guests by following them on all their social platforms. And if you want to support Live Good, Feel Better, make sure y'all subscribe on YouTube by searching Live Good, Feel Better Podcast. Also, follow us on Instagram by searching Live Good, Feel Better Pod. But remember, there's an underscore in between each word. Look, I need y'all to leave a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify. It really helps the show grow and reach more people. Also, this is a shameless plug. If you are into juicing fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, and just overall health content, follow my personal page, which is Juicing with Josh. Once again, there's an underscore in between each word. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you come back for the next episode. And remember, do what you can to live good so you feel better. Peace. Ambition, I'ma go after. Obstacles, it don't matter. All action, low chatter, won't slow down, I'ma go faster. More goals that I'll try. Let's scroll on Wi-Fi. No fast food in my gut. More sunshine, cause I'm outside. Only time speaking vocally is in the song, then you gon' see. Every single thing pan out like my wife cooking and we bout to eat. Bank accounts with interest, stocks up when I invest. No updates on my timeline, could care less if you impress. My vision board on Pinterest, I'm praying more when I get stressed. I'm making sure that my kids set. My 2 boys, they been next. Took a break, I'ma get going. I was moving quiet like the wind blowing. Now I'm stomping for my dreams, and I promise you there's no more tiptoeing. Cause ambition, I'ma go after. Obstacles, it don't matter. All action, low chatter, won't slow down, I'ma go faster. More goals that I'll try. Let's scroll on Wi-Fi. No fast food in my gut. More sunshine, cause I'm outside. More sunshine.